Seiko Tokyo, it's the men's 100 meters world final.
男子 100m 決勝。
In lane 2, world rank number 3, representing South Africa.
南アフリカ記録保持者、南アフリカ共和国。
Akani Simbini. Lane 3, twice the African under-20 champion representing Nigeria.
パーソナルベスト9秒88ナイジェリア。
Kayinsola Ajayi. Lane 4, 6 times the world champion, the Olympic champion for the USA.
ブダペスト大会金メダル、アメリカ合衆国。
Noah Lyles. In 5, the Olympic Games silver medalist representing Jamaica.
ワールドリーダー、ワールドランキング1位、ジャマイカ。
Kishane Thompson. In 6, twice an Olympic Games silver medalist for the USA.
パーソナルベスト9秒79、ワールドランキング5位、アメリカ合衆国。
Kung Fu Kenny Benarek. In 7, the best of 981 set earlier this year for Jamaica.
ワールドランキング4位、ジャマイカ。
Oblique Seville. Lane 8, welcome the Olympic 200-meter champion representing Botswana.
ブダペスト大会銀メダル、ボツワナ。
Letsile Tobago. Lane 9, a lifetime best set here at 9:87, representing South Africa.
パーソナルベスト9秒87。
What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you love track and field, make sure you hit that subscription button and subscribe, because today we are reacting to a video explaining why Jamaica continues to dominate in sprinting. And honestly, this isn't just about one athlete, it's about something much bigger. It's about culture that keeps producing world-class talent each and every year. So guys, let us watch this combination of races to the end, then I'll be coming back with more comments.
The tension just needs to go a little higher. We'll find out what the start team make of that. We'll hear from start referee Helen. Yeah, Bolt knows what he thinks he saw. We all know what we think we saw, but there's only one opinion that counts.
Line 8, full stop.
And unfortunately, it is a red card. It's a disqualification for Letsile Tobago. We go against Simbini Ajayi, Lyles, Thompson, Benarek, Seville, and Leylon Layla. The start is crucial, nice and quiet.
One oblique. On your marks. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Siinä on vähän kyse, että voi reaktioida, jos jää nyt, että ei ole ihan niin jutun kappaa, että se on kiusainen. Käsittääkseni.
Set.
celebration. Lyles takes bronze. Thompson takes silver and a lifetime best of 9.77. The world champion, the fastest man in the world, is still Jamaican, Oblique Seville.
さあ、ただいまの男子 100m 決勝はジャマイカのセビルが9秒77のパーソナルベストです。そして2着には同じくジャマイカトンプソン9秒82、3着アメリカ合衆国のライルズ9秒89のシーズンベストです。
There's the replay. Look at the pickup from the two Jamaicans as they come upright. They're already 1 and 2. Lyles playing catch up as he so often has to get the bronze.
Well, let's have a look at the athletes from the first heat. Matt Hudson-Smith, by the way, the European champion and bronze medalist at the World Championships, goes in heat 4 for England. There's the lineup: Geldenhuys of Namibia, Timbachi of Vanuatu, Anthony Cox of Jamaica, Solomon of Australia, Steve Solomon, watch him, Kumaraj of Sri Lanka, Desroy Jordan of St Vincent and the Grenadines, and Shay Lara of Trinidad and Tobago on the outside. So with only 3 non-automatic qualifier spots, that's make the first 3 or you're not going to make it through to the semis is really the message. There is Che Lara, 46.92 man this year. He'll be running blind. His personal best was last year, 46.4. In lane 7 for St Vincent and the Grenadines. He's actually the national 800 metres champion this year. Desroy Jordan, the 21-year-old, best of 47.76 this year. In 6, Kalinga Kumaraj of Sri Lanka, 3 times their champion and the reigning champion, set his personal best actually, but back on the 23rd of April. He hasn't raced since the middle of June. In 5, the very experienced Australian Steve Solomon, 8th in the Olympic Games in London 2012. Remember that, 10 years ago now. A semi-finalist in Tokyo last year, and he holds the Australian record for 400 indoors at 45.4. Good athlete. There's Anthony Cox of Jamaica. Had COVID in Eugene, but was able to compete in the heats of the 4x400 for his nation. Came 3rd in the Jamaican Championships earlier on this summer. There's Obedia Timbaki of Vanuatu. Went out in his heat for the World Championships, the 19-year-old, best of 52.85 this year, and that is his lifetime best. And then in 2 is Ivan Danny Geldenhuys of Namibia, 21 in a few days' time. The South African semi-finalist in the African Championships in Mauritius back in early June, but he hasn't raced either since early June, the 20-year-old Geldenhuys. 46.4 his best this year. Remember, the first 3 go through by right, so he'll be right on the cusp of it. Will even Danny Geldenhuys. Champion is Makwala. He's up Makwala of Botswana. Indeed, his teammate Babaloki Thebe took out the silver on the Gold Coast back in 2018. So the first heat of 7 then in the men's 400 metres. Geldenhuys in 2, Timbaki of Vanuatu in 3, Cox of Jamaica 4, Solomon of Australia in 5, the Sri Lankan Kumaraj in 6, Jordan of St Vincent and the Grenadines in 7, and Lara, Trinidad and Tobago in lane 8.
Set.
Well, qualifying from this should be a formality for an athlete of the calibre of Steve Solomon of Australia, but he'll want a solid run. He's in 5. They're right in the centre in the yellow with the greenish shorts, 4th from left at the moment, moving well down the back straight. And actually quickest away is Kumaraj of Sri Lanka, really quick through the first 200 in that blue strip. He's a 45.8 performer this year, but he leads at the moment by quite some margin. Solomon going okay right in the centre. Inside him, the Jamaican vest of Anthony Cox is moving well around the second bend as they come into the straight. Kumaraj has given 101% through the first 300. Now he's chased down by the big figure of Cox, the Jamaican, who looks very strong for the last 50. Solomon follows him through, and he's under real pressure here for 3rd place, and I think he just loses out there to Golden Heath from Namibia, who gets 3rd spot. It is the first 3, remember, who go through by right, and I think despite giving everything for the first 380, it was nearly enough. Kumaraj of Sri Lanka might just have got run out of it. It was very tight at the line. No doubting the strong finish and fine form of Anthony Cox. Maybe a little bit frustrated after not being able to give his all in Eugene a couple of weeks back because of COVID, but he wins in 45.51. That is only a couple of clicks outside his lifetime best from earlier on this season. And Steve Solomon, 45.98, a solid 2nd for Australia. And it was even Danny Geldenhuys of Namibia who took 3rd place, 46.51. Kumaraj will have to wait and see, but 46.53, I'm not sure it'll be quick enough. Desiree Jordan of St Vincent and the Grenadines, a personal best for him, significant leap forward, 47.29.
I was absolutely willing the Sri Lankan 3rd from the left here as we look at it to get himself home in the top 3. It was a really bold piece of running because he knew the likes of Cox of Jamaica and Solomon, who seems to have been around for a lifetime, made the Olympic final, must have been a teenager then back in 2012. The Sri Lanka knew that they would be coming and closing, and that he'd start wading through treacle towards the back end of the race. Geldenhuys did really well to come through in lane 2. Good running by Cox, just off the podium in the World Youth a few years ago. So unlucky to get COVID in Eugene and not be able to perform at his best. It's a good run by Solomon there, and Geldenhuys out dipping Kumaraj. So the Sri Lankan will have to wait to see whether he can claim one of the 3 non-automatic spots. But remember, that's 3 non-automatic spots from 7 heats. Good running by Cox, 3rd in the Jamaican national champs. Just to make it as any level of international in a Jamaican sprint event shows you the calibre of the man we've just been watching, just off the podium in the World Youth, and he'll be absolutely determined to remind everybody what he could have produced in Eugene had COVID not brought his aspirations at the Worlds to a premature end.
Well, there it is. You can see the fine form of Anthony Cox. Bottom of picture. Working hard with the arms there. And that is very nearly a lifetime best. And I think there's considerably more to come from the 21-year-old. Solomon of Australia in the dark glasses. Moving well, and you can see the effort from even Danny Geldenhuys. Here he is with about 40 to go. He's way back in 4th, but he keeps battling away. Kumaraj by far the smallest of the 4 in shot, just tying up the stride length going, the knees not coming up over the final meters, and he just gets out dipped by the Namibian, giving himself an early 21st birthday present in effect. There it is. Anthony Cox wins for Jamaica, 45.51. A lovely big capital Q beside his name. Steve Solomon likewise for Australia in 2nd place, and Geldenhuys of Namibia taking that precious 3rd spot by 4 100ths of a second. Sorry, 2 100ths of a second of Kalinga Hua Kumaraj.
Okay guys, welcome back. One thing I really liked about this video is that it challenges the idea that Jamaica's success ended with one generation. A lot of people thought that Jamaica, after the legendary era, Jamaica will slow down. But every season, new athletes step up and remind everyone that Jamaican sprinting is still one of the most biggest forces in the world. The video starts by looking at the men's 100 meters final, focusing on Kinshan Thompson and Oblique Seville. Watching these two compete, you can immediately see the confidence they carry. They don't look rushed, they don't panic, their running style looks so smooth. and controlled and very, very efficient. That is something you don't develop overnight. It comes from years of training in an environment where every practice feels like a championship race. What impressed me the most is how calm they remain under pressure. Yeah, in the biggest races, many athletes tighten up because they know the entire world is watching. But these Jamaican sprinters seem prepared for those moments. That tells you their preparation is just as strong mentality as it is physically. And that's probably the biggest reason why other countries continue to respect Jamaica. It's not just because of one superstar, it's because every year another athlete appears who is capable of challenging the very best in the world. When one athlete graduates or retires, another one is already waiting for the opportunity. Also, the video moves to Anthony Cox in the 400 meters, and I think this part carries a very important message. Success isn't always about winning every race. Sometimes it's about how you respond when things don't go your way. The video talks about the setbacks he experienced, including missing opportunities because of illness. Many athletes will lose confidence after something like that. Some will even quit, but instead, Anthony Cox stayed focused and kept working until another opportunity came. That kind of determination says a lot about the mindset Jamaican athletes develop. They understand that one season doesn't define a career. One disappointing race doesn't erase a year of hard work. Champions know how to recover, learn from setbacks, and come back stronger. Honestly, that's a lesson everyone can apply. Whether you are an athlete, a student, or working toward your own goals, life won't always go according to plan, but persistence often makes the difference. And the final part of the video is probably my favorite because it explains Jamaica. It explains why Jamaica keeps producing elite athletes. It's not a magic. It's not luck. It's the system they have built over and over years, over many years. The coaches continue developing talent from a young age. The athletes train alongside other world-class competitors every day. Nobody is allowed to become comfortable because someone else is always pushing for your place. That competitive environment forces everyone to improve. And I also agree with the idea that success creates more success. Young athletes grow up watching Jamaican legends win on the biggest stage. They believe they can do the same because they have they have seen it happening before. Instead of thinking maybe I can make it, they grow up thinking why not me? That belief is incredibly powerful. Confidence doesn't guarantee victory, but it helps athletes perform when the pressure is highest. Another thing people sometimes overlook is the depth Jamaica has. Everyone talks about the biggest names, but there are always talent athletes coming through schools and national competitions. That strong pipeline means that Jamaica is rarely dependent on just one person. When competition at home is already so difficult, international races don't feel quite as intimidating. You've already been tested before you even arrive at the championship. Of course, every country is improving. Sprinting is becoming more competitive each and every year. The United States, the Great Britain, Canada, and many other nations have excellent athletes. Nothing is guaranteed in sports. But if this video proves anything, it's just that Jamaica should never be counted out. Every time people think they are slowing down, another group of talented athletes steps forward and changes the conversation. That's why the world continues to pay attention whenever Jamaica's sprinters step onto the track. Their reputation has been earned through years of consistent excellence, hard work, discipline, and belief. Overall, I really enjoyed watching this. I really enjoyed watching this video because it reminds me that greatness isn't created by accident. It's built through culture, competition, coaching, and athletes who refuse to settle for average. Now, I want to hear from you all guys. Do you think Jamaica will continue dominating sprinting over the next few years? Or do you believe another country is ready to take over? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this reaction, please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification so that you will never miss another track and field. So guys, thanks for watching, and I'll be catching you in the next one. Peace.